I know that the Telegraph is a British newspaper. I really do. But they came out with an interesting story. One of them interesting stories. Venezuelans call for Trump to invade. People are calling Nicolas Maduro, this feller that came in. He came in as a socialist, as a leader of a narco country. They're saying that he has set up himself a narco dictatorship, which started out as, hey, we're getting away from being the most successful South American country. We're going to go to socialism because all our people have gone soft and have been convinced that socialism is this thing. And now Maduro comes in there and, well, the people that have left there, not counting the trend, Ragua, and the anti-trend folks that are causing havoc here, but you've got several of the folks that oppose him that are saying, "Hey, Trump, please, since you're building up to try to take out these ships that are leaving that are loaded with drugs, take him out." But we're gonna get into this. Also, hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. We're going to discuss stuff like this all the time. So let's get into it.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Okay, so what is the Telegraph saying? Venezuelans opposed to Nicolas Maduro are urging Donald Trump to invade their country and topple the left wing president. Buildup of U.S. warships in the Caribbean has fueled speculation that a military operation is imminent and has gripped Venezuelan opposition journalists and commentators. U.S. says the aim of the naval deployment is to combat drug cartels. Washington recently designated the Cartel of the Suns, a drug trafficking group it claims is composed of high-ranking Venezuelan officials, as a terrorist group. It's even doubled the reward for Mr. Maduro's arrest, for information leading to his arrest, to $50 million. That's more than they offered for bin Laden. Uh, Rhetoric coming from the White House, coupled with the largest U.S. naval presence in the Caribbean since the 1989 overthrow of Manuel Noriega in Panama, has stoked rumors and hopes for many that military action could be imminent. That was an interesting takedown. I don't know how many of y'all remember the whole Panama situation, but yeah, that was interesting. Deployment includes 2,200 Marines and puts the U.S. and Venezuela closer to an armed conflict than ever before. Uh, I'm going to put a link to this down below, but I'm going to read a little bit more here. Melanio Escobar, a Venezuelan journalist based in Orlando, Florida, said it will support anything that will free my country from the narco dictatorship that constantly violates human rights. A liberal country violating human rights. Go figure. Escobar, who has been closely documenting the deployment of U.S. ships to his thousands of social media followers, believes the U.S. military may first go after organizations involved in drug trafficking on Venezuelan soil. But he said the proximity of U.S. warships and the unprecedented reward for Maduro could spark internal fractures that ultimately brought about his arrest and downfall. I think the U.S. operations are genuine, he said. They're not only intervening to put pressure on the regime, but to capture those who need to be captured. Edmundo Gonzalez, The exiled opposition candidate, who many Venezuelans believe won the disputed 2024 presidential election, also suggested the military buildup could splinter Mr. Maduro's support. Soldiers are loyal until they're not, he said on an online video. Mr. Gonzalez and others have drawn parallels to past U.S. interventions from 2003 overthrow of Saddam Hussein in Iraq to June U.S.-led strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. I saw it on television, he said, of the Iraqi operation in the video. Before the first bombs were even dropped, the most battle-hardened elements of the Republican Guard were already running in their underwear through the streets. Guillermo Barrett Padilla, sorry about the middle name there, another Venezuelan journalist, also likened Mr. Maduro's posture to Saddam's final days. Oh, good Lord, I just pronounced his name that way. I am sorry, folks. That really did come out a little redneck. Same vibes, he wrote on X, pairing videos of Maduro surrounded by chanting officers with footage of Saddam, flanked by supporters in a black bag or in orange overalls. He needs to go however is possible. Other Venezuelans, while hopeful for a change in government, expressed less optimism that the U.S. would ultimately make a move on Mr. Maduro. I want to see it, but it's just not a certain thing, Jackson Fernandez, a Venezuelan who immigrated to Colombia 2 years ago and sells coffee on the streets of the capital Bogota, told Telegraph. Really? That's an interesting job, and I feel bad for him that that's what he's got to do. I know the United States could do it if they wanted to, but I'm worried it's something else that they're looking for other than regime change. U.S. officials told Reuters on Thursday that a total of 7 more ships, along with a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, were in the region or expected to arrive shortly, carrying 4,500 service members. Yay. So basically, you're getting the gist. There's a lot of Venezuelan folks that want to see it. They're wanting rid of this Maduro fella. Uh, this is now. Am I wanting to see an invasion of Venezuela? No, not really. I don't really want to see us continuously getting involved in stuff like this. But I thought I'd bring this up. Now, if you're looking at the size of Venezuela, and I'm sure that you don't have to, you know, take over the entire country, but this is the 32nd largest country and is slightly smaller than Egypt and half the size of Mexico. Um, it's 1/11th the size of the U.S. Put it in perspective, Venezuela is roughly comparable to the size of the state of Texas. Now, I don't want to see us getting involved in another war. I really don't. You see what happens when you have these leftists take over a country. It becomes a cesspool. And this is exactly what's going on there. Um, Now you've got narco trafficking. You've got this trend del Ragua that's coming up to the U.S. that's helping with some of this. The anti-trend group that opposes the trend, the cartel of the Suns. We got enough drug traffickers in this world. We don't need an entire country doing this. But I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure about if we would do it. I ain't got any inside scoop. Nobody gets back to me at these places. I'm just a Tennessee boy living in Virginia that pays attention to this stuff. But would the U.S. lives be worth it if we went in there? Because there are going to be U.S. troops that are going to be taken out. Now, I'm not saying, I'm going to be soft on this, but 2,200 Marines, while, yes, we can do some damage in the Marine Corps, I don't really see this as enough to take on a place like the size of Texas. And we've got so much going on. Do we really need to be contemplating this? But I'll let you make a decision on this. I ain't for it, but I do think something needs to be done. And okay, maybe this naval blockade will do the trick. Maybe these ships will be able to stop the drug trafficking coming out of that area. Because I know that the Guyanas, or whatever, the three little protected areas there next to them, countries next to them, don't really want to deal with it. Colombia probably don't want to deal with it. So, but I'll let you answer that. You with the given information. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Well, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.